Today's episode is supported by AIDS-Free Pittsburgh. There are more than 5,000 people living with HIV in southwestern Pennsylvania, and the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program provides support services to help them get the care they need. That includes assistance with things like healthcare, medications, housing, transportation, food, and treatment for substance use disorders. Visit aidsfreepittsburgh.org to learn more.
Today's show is supported by TaskRabbit. You know, as Pittsburghers, we have a strong work ethic, but sometimes we all need a little bit of help. If you're looking for someone to help you assemble some furniture, maybe start a home repair, TaskRabbit is here for you. You just download the TaskRabbit app, describe what you need, and you'll get matched with a skilled tasker. Maybe even one of your neighbors. It could be a great way to meet people. They'll pitch in, and there are no surprises because pricing is right there before you book. Download the TaskRabbit app or visit taskrabbit.com today to get those home to-dos crossed off.
Hey Pittsburgh, this is executive producer Mallory Falk. At the end of today's episode, we've got a special guest, Chelsea Kovac from TaskRabbit. She's going to join me to talk about how Pittsburghers are using the platform to get help with everything from furniture assembly and TV mounting to spring cleaning and home repairs, and how it's also helping local taskers earn money and build their own businesses. This is brought to you by TaskRabbit. Stick around after the show to hear how it works and how you can get connected.
This is CityCast Pittsburgh. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. Hi, Brenasia. I'm wondering if there are any types of events that you just categorically are less into. Maybe it's a costume contest, trivia, could be for somebody else, just maybe not your flavor.
Honestly, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I'm not a vibe with a costume contest. I'm pretty creative digitally, and I like to think I can put an outfit together, but I always feel like if I have to go to a Halloween party, I see someone, I'm like, wow, my little belt is not going to cut it.
That was extra.
I'm like, I just can't compete. I can't compete.
That's fine. You put your energy elsewhere. I'm with Brenasia Ward-Caldwell, a local content creator who made maybe the most useful thing I have seen this season around the whole NFL draft business of it all. You made an events guide. We love an events guide here at CityCast Pittsburgh. And what I love about it is you put all of these things in one place, pghdraftweek.com. So how and why did this become a thing for you?
Honestly, I travel a lot for both my day job and just personally. And I go to a lot of large scale events, conferences, Fashion Week, all these things. And there's always like a list that is passed around, and it's not secret, but it's almost like you got to know someone to get the list of all the events that are happening for that event, but in that city. So like in a Houston and a DC. And, you know, we've been hearing all about the draft. We've been hearing all about all these people coming.
Every single billboard is now draft related. It's kind of wild.
It's literally wild. But as a creator in the city, I work with so many businesses, and I noticed, I'm like, well, where's that little list? Like, how, not everyone is going to be able to fit in the North Shore. You know, how are we going to get all these people to see what I see all the time, why I love living here? And so I truly came home from getting my face lasered off at a med spa.
Okay, I have questions about that off mic. We're going to return to that.
And I built it. I built the site, and in about 24 hours, all the domain names were available. So,
well, we want to give you flowers for that. Describe the platform, like how it works, who it's for.
I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I think about people that have never either been to Pittsburgh before, or just my people that might not be as tech friendly, just something that's easy and just gives you accessible view into understanding all that is happening across the city. So it's a website. You go to pghdraftweek.com, you open it on your phone, and it works. There's it's over 80 events now, and over 30 restaurants, over 20 events of these events are free. And I've included filters, people are arriving different day. I really built this as something that I would look for based on how I travel, how I plan trips, how I maximize my time when I'm somewhere for a very short amount of time.
I also heard that you vetted them all, which I got to imagine that must have been a time.
Yes, I did review them all because safety is also important to me. And, I'm not going to say, no, you can't have the event. But if I can't find somewhere that links to a flyer or an event link or an Instagram page, I don't think it makes sense to send people there because,
But with the AI of it all right now, like I feel like a lot of us we see links to things, but it doesn't tell us that like, oh no, someone actually saw this. Like someone I know or whose presence I'm aware of has seen this thing and they think it's legit. And so maybe I should consider it too. And I think it's just like such a public service that you did that for folks.
Yeah. Thanks, I guess. I read every single one and it's just been really cool to see all the creativity happening across the city.
Yeah. And people are still welcome to submit new ones. Are you still taking more on?
We're taking submissions every day.
Make your pitch. Like who are you hoping to hear from?
I think where I feel a little short on things that I would love to see, I would love to see more brunch events. I feel like Saturday is feeling a little light.
Okay.
Pittsburgh could have more brunch events. I've seen on TikTok people asking for brunch events. So
that's a missing piece. Yeah.
That is a missing piece. I think there's lots of things for families, lots of things that are free, lots of watch parties, lots of things that I'm pretty jazzed about. But I think the brunch area, I'm going to need my restaurants to get a little creative to think of how we can serve something up.
No, I love this. I like throwing down a gauntlet. If you're listening to this and you have a restaurant space or connected to a restaurant space, like make it happen. There is still time. Is there anything that you suggest, say like maybe how a local should approach building a potential itinerary versus a newcomer, an out-of-towner? Because I feel like your site could work for either, but I know I plan my weekends differently here in Pittsburgh versus like when I go somewhere else.
So I would at least start with, because when I am actually like a maximalist when I travel, but something I'm trying to like,
Same.
Like I try to pack it all in, but truly the city is going to be massive.
Rest. Like I need an extra day to rest when I get home.
Yeah, we rest after the vacation. Like that's kind of how
Yeah.
But my suggestion based off of how truly packed we're expecting the city to be is pick one event maybe outside of, if you're trying to go down to the North Shore, you have your one pass, you're getting into Draft Village. But if there's something you want to do outside of that area, pick one event and then kind of see where it takes you. There's so much you might walk by, but pick one maybe ticketed event and then plan around that per day because there's free options. There's so many things close to one another. And one of the things I was actually thinking of adding to the site, if I have an extra time in my schedule, is something to help people beyond the at a heart, is to bake in some AI to help build an itinerary. But we're being a little lofty. Yeah, I don't have that much time on my hands, but it's a fun project.
Yeah, it could also be something that lives beyond the NFL draft. I'll just plant that seed. Is there anything that you're hoping
You're not the first
visitors to your site and to the city might take away from their experience in Pittsburgh?
I really want them to see just really all that we have to offer. There's so many things about Pittsburgh that makes us unique. There's so many businesses that I think really represent what makes me as someone I'm not originally from here. So
me either. But I love it here.
I love it. And I think that is something that you only can experience when you kind of get into the heart of Pittsburgh and try some of the things that, I love going somewhere where I'm like, man, I went to this cool event and I got a cool souvenir. I met some cool people. I had a good time, took a cute picture. And I love having those stories when I travel. And that's kind of, I think, when people are traveling in to see their favorite team, get their new player, what can round out that entire experience is truly experience the city in which they came to visit.
CityCast Pittsburgh is brought to you today by Allegheny County. The county is recruiting poll workers, such an important job for the May 19th primary election. Poll workers, also called election officers, help run voting locations, and they earn money, $150 to $175 for the day, plus paid training before Election Day. Training can be in person or online, and new poll workers must complete it before working on Election Day. To serve, you must be a registered voter here in Allegheny County and be able to work the full day on May 19th. Poll workers play an important role in ensuring a smooth, fair election, and they gain valuable experience interacting with voters and managing the election process. If you're interested in earning a little extra money and supporting your community, apply online at AlleghenyVotes.com. Learn more and submit your application at AlleghenyVotes.com today. Today's episode is brought to you by Steal Hers Social, presented by UPMC Magee Women's Hospital. Y'all know, if you listen to the show, I am a huge sports fan. I am always down to chat with women who love football, who love the Steelers, just because, first of all, y'all have such strong opinions and you make them heard in male-dominated spaces. So if you're looking for that kind of community, mark your calendars for Steal Hers Social on May 28th. It's taking place at, of course, Acrisure Stadium, and you'll get the chance to peek into the locker room and run through the player tunnel, get access to all these behind-the-scenes spaces. There's even a player meet and greet and an opportunity to hear from women in sports. They've got raffles, giveaways, face painting, bingo. If you like to get crafty, make sure you stop by that button and bracelet making station. The event is open to women and girls of all ages, and as a CityCast listener, you get a $5 discount on the $55 ticket. Use code CITY, C-I-T-Y, and buy your tickets now at universe.com/stealhers. That's steal, H-E-R-S. CityCast Pittsburgh is sponsored today by Window Nation. If you're a regular CityCast Pittsburgh listener, then you know we have been absolutely delighted by Pittsburgh spring. It is so nice to see the trees turn green, get that afternoon breeze. It's been such a long winter. But to really make the most of this season, you probably want some nice windows. Maybe yours get stuck. Maybe they're starting to leak. Maybe you just want a refresh. Window Nation's running their The More You Buy, The More You Save sale, which could save you up to 50% off all the windows for your home, along with 0% financing for 5 years. When you buy with Window Nation, you get to pick from over 1,500 styles and colors. Dang. And they're all custom built. They come out to measure your windows so they fit right the first time, and the installation crews are truly professionals. The crew leaders have over a decade of experience, and the installation all happens in one day. And if anything does end up going wrong, you are protected with a lifetime warranty. So hurry, the sale ends soon. Schedule a fast, free consultation now at windownation.com. Well, let's talk about what you endorse or are personally really excited for. You have sorted these events into what I feel like are really intuitive, like filterable categories by day and time. I can tell you are a frequent conference attendee here, but also interest. So we'll stick with your expert level categories. This is, of course, first and foremost, a sporting event. What watch parties look fun to you? And I'm curious what you actually are watching. Like, are you going to go to a watch party?
So I'm still trying to figure out my full week because my email inbox keeps changing. But the one that I'm actually kind of most excited about from a watch party perspective, Slappers and Bangers. They're pretty well known in Pittsburgh.
It's one of the best dance parties in the city. It might be the best. Yeah.
They literally don't miss. They're going to have, I believe, four DJs. And I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway with them to give away tickets to this event. But that's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be at the Roxy-In. So that is something, all while streaming the draft pick. So I think it's going to be a very interesting vibe. Massive theater, come on. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And a group that I actually got connected with on Threads, Black Girls Love Football. They're actually hosting a few events around town. They're actually having a watch party right in the Strip, so it's pretty walkable from the North Shore. So those do cost, which, thinking about when people coming into town. But from a free option, a watch party, Trace Brewing is having an event. So they're streaming the draft picks on a huge projector on their like famous wall. So I think, and they're gonna have food trucks. It's gonna be like a whole vibe. I just pray that we have warm weather by that time.
You and me both. Yeah. Which is purely selfish. Like I want the city to look good. I want to feel good while I'm down there. I don't want to be worried about all of us collectively feeling like
the trees
cold,
are
wet
starting
grass.
to green.
I know. Like, come on, we're almost there. What about like general or block parties? So like less football oriented, but like in the spirit of the football thing.
It's a little bit of mix of both, but love Pittsburgh.
Our gift shop.
I think it's like our cutest. Yeah, our cutest like gift shop. They're hosting like it's called a draft darty. You said less football, but I think it's kind of a fun culmination of football, some tailgating, a chance to kind of experience some of our eateries and special things around the Strip District. So they're going to have like Parma sausage. I believe they're going to have Millie's. Like, I think it's like a really cute vibe. So that's something I'm actually really hoping I can stop at, especially since it's really close to where I'll be walking all through. So Pittsburgh is it's not really a block party, but they're having a music crawl, which I think gives an interesting access to different businesses and trying out different music. And I think that's a really fun way to kind of explore at least the downtown area as people are kind of hanging out. And I mean, everyone's going to have to walk. So why not walk and stop and listen to some tunes?
Honestly. I mean, how do you feel about some of the bigger, I don't know if that's even the right word, but like the more organized ones like Nelly coming down to like shorties, pins, and pites?
So I'm actually pretty hyped for that.
Every elder millennial I know is losing it over that one.
I'm hyped for Nelly. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I have to look at the site to remember where Nelly is.
You're busy.
But I know I'm making it my definite plan to get to 2 Chainz on that Friday night. That I'm very excited about. I think it's really cool that we're getting such huge artists here in Pittsburgh all in the same week. Soulja Boy is actually also coming. Very rare.
Like people just skip Pittsburgh as like the really big artists like this. Like we don't get the draw that you would think we would be able to command.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the things I really think the draft being here is going to help Pittsburgh is to illuminate the city a bit more and show that we can have big things, we can sustain it, and people will have a good time. And that was also why I think like I really wanted to have the site so people can come and have a good time, experience a multitude of things, and like want to come back. Pittsburgh is a growing city, and I really think like we deserve to have big things come here, just like the rest of the state.
Agreed. What about, I know this one's near and dear to your heart, Black owned, Black organized, places to highlight our communities of color?
I really can't emphasize Slappers and Bangers event enough.
It's also just such a good time.
It's such a good time. It's really been cool to watch just that entire effort, their whole group grow. So one of the other events I did want to recommend, Slim the DJ is having an off-the-wall party at the Goldmark. And Goldmark is I love going there. It is a little small, but I feel like small is fun. It's a bit off the beaten path. In a sense, coming out of the draft zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's up there, like, I think that's to Upper Lawrenceville. Yeah, it's 45th. Mm-hmm.
But if I was coming from out of town and, like, someone told me about, like, that would be a cool spot to go to in a cool neighborhood, that would be pretty memorable. Like, if someone wants to have a memorable experience while they're bopping around trying different things. Actually, another. This is maybe not as party centric, but there's a new group called the National Society of Black Sports Professionals. They're having a few events over the course of the week. They're having a brunch, back on the brunch tip, and a happy hour, and a watch party. This is they just had maybe their first happy hour a couple weeks ago. I actually know the person that started this chapter in Pittsburgh, Jaden Lindo. I think this is a really cool gathering that's starting in Pittsburgh. And I think it's at the perfect time considering, this is draft season, draft picks are here, and thinking about the number of Black men that make up the teams in sports. So I think that is something that as a corporate girly, I do enjoy a professional networking opportunity. And I really love that this is something that has been started before the draft. It's here during the draft, and it's going to continue after.
We were just talking about that on the show last week, actually. Like, I think it's over 70% of the NFL identifies as Black, and a fraction of the coaches and executives are Black. And a big missing piece, at least according to the Athletic article we were looking at, is networking. It's just really difficult through the course of your career to meet and talk to other coaching professionals, to make the connections that you need to get that next big job so that you can go for things like defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, be a coach, carry that torch that Mike Tomlin carried for so long. It's a big mantle, and the NFL is falling down on it, and it's not on our professionals. It's not on them. It's on the NFL to fix this. But I want these opportunities, and I want them to be able to connect with each other. And if Pittsburgh can be the place for that, all the better.
I think it's fantastic. Networking is key across all industries. Being a creator, being in tech, being a journalist, it is so key to grow. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Any others that you're really excited about? I mean, gosh, there's so much here. I really encourage y'all to check it out. There's culinary things. There are lots of family-friendly events. There's ways to explore Pittsburgh. Maybe any free events that you have your eye on or would recommend aspirationally?
Well, free to enter. The Omni William Penn is having a really fun William Penn
Did
draft.
Did not see you saying the Omni about free.
I know,
That's one
right?
of Pittsburgh's fanciest spots. And you're like, oh, free? Okay, Omni.
Well, so free to enter, let's keep it there. But they're having a really cool pop-up bar. They do, I think, in my opinion, one of our best pop-up bars throughout the year. And they're going to be having a draft theme pop-up with food, mocktails, which is also very important, and all different themed cocktails. And it is something that you can bring kids into because it's a hotel. And I haven't added it to the site yet, but I did see something that it looks like they're doing something for kids. So maybe by the time this episode is
By the time you're hearing
published,
this, is probably going to be there.
Yeah. But the last time they did something that was Steeler activation pop-up related, it was really fun and cool. So I love a fun photo moment, even if you just go and get a picture. I should probably also mention that Off the Wall experience at Goldmark, that's actually a free party. It's free. It's free to enter into that. You just got to buy your drink. And I think that's pretty cool because there's so many places charging to get into the room during that week. So I think that is a really nice, accessible option.
Yeah. And the other thing I would throw out is just walk around. So many of our neighborhoods are going to be probably as pretty as they're likely to be for a while.
Yeah.
Downtown is going to be full of art and activations. I feel like downtown is often it's a bit more accessible sometimes than the North Shore when it's really crowded. Just take in the sights. Even if you don't want to necessarily
literally take it in,
be in the thick of it. You're not a football person. I understand. But I think there's going to be a lot to do and enjoy and just see. I don't know. Hopefully the good energy from the weekend will carry us forward into Pittsburgh summer.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Well, Bernasia, thank you so much for truly taking it upon yourself to helping the rest of us figure out what we want to do with our lives while the NFL's in town. If folks want to follow you, where can they do that?
You can follow me at Code Bree, the O is a 0, on both Instagram and TikTok, or go to bernasia.com where everything can get plugged in. So thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And don't go anywhere. In just a second, Jens, we have a segment sponsored by TaskRabbit. Executive producer Mallory Falk is going to be chatting with TaskRabbit's Chelsea Kovac about how Pittsburghers are already using the app to get help with everything from furniture assembly to spring cleaning. Plus, how locals can even sign up to earn money as taskers.
Hey, CityCast Pittsburgh executive producer Mallory Falk here with Chelsea Kovac, the head of talent at TaskRabbit. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Mallory. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So TaskRabbit, of course, is this great app where you can essentially find a neighbor to come help out with a household task, or you can sign up to be that neighbor and get that help. For anyone who hasn't used the app yet, Chelsea, what are the go-to tasks for people in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, great question. Those bigger tasks that we typically see on the platform are usually around furniture assembly and TV mounting. Those are two huge categories, especially with so many people moving in and out of the city. You've got a ton of universities there and everything, of course. So, but we also handle more than just those two categories. We also handle things like house cleaning services, moving help, and just general home repairs that you can use. And really the goal is just ease and quality on the platform. So essentially what Pittsburghers will do is go on and browse local profiles of the taskers. They'll then see kind of real reviews from other, local neighbors of theirs in the area. And you pick the person, or the tasker rather, that fits your budget and your schedule.
And I mean, TaskRabbit has been a staple in Pittsburgh for a while now. You are from here, a tried and true Pittsburgher. Yeah. How have you seen the platform grow in our city?
Yeah, it's been really incredible to watch the growth in Pittsburgh in particular. And so we've actually helped complete more than 15,000 tasks in Pittsburgh over the last few years for the local community. And so from, the north side to the south side, we've become really the reliable neighbor to neighbor resource for when life gets busy. And we grew from a simple idea about 16 years ago when our founder just simply needed dog food on a snowy night, now turned into the #1 platform out there for home services. So really excited to continue building our Pittsburgh network here.
Needing emergency dog food is so relatable, but incredible what it's grown into.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about the people who are actually doing the work here. How does TaskRabbit support local workers in Pittsburgh?
This is actually a huge part of our mission. We aren't just a service. We're essentially an engine for micro entrepreneurs. So on average, taskers in Pittsburgh earn about $54 per hour, which is huge. And so it's truly a fantastic way to build a business or even just make some extra money on the side. And taskers are their own bosses, really. They set their own rates, schedules, and work areas. But when we talk about our commitment to this side of the platform here, taskers also take home 100% of their hourly rate and 100% of their tips. And so upholding kind of that integrity to that side of the marketplace is something really, really important to us as a company and to our tasker community as well.
So if somebody's looking to join that community to sign up as a tasker today, what's important for them to know?
If someone's looking to sign up as a tasker on the platform, really, if you're over 18 and you have a skill is what we're looking for. So whether that's something like painting, mounting TVs, or even just simply being handy, we want to hear from you. And so what's great is we handle the back end logistics so that our taskers can focus on the work for the customers. And we also take safety really seriously. So one other thing to note is that every tasker goes through a multi-step vetting process, including identity verification and background checks as well.
You know, I think everybody in Pittsburgh right now is so excited for spring. This winter was pretty brutal. And so part of that process, of course, is spring cleaning. When I think about spring cleaning, I think about like going through my clothes and seeing what's worth keeping or donating. But what are some of the household tasks that people should be thinking about as we're all getting ready for spring?
Yes. Well, being from here, I know exactly what a Pittsburgh winter does to a house, let alone
Hmm.
this winter we had. So, no doubt that was a brutal one, right? So,
Yep.
right now truly is the perfect time for your pre spring maintenance, we'll call it. But we're seeing a lot of residents booking taskers to check for things around the house like drafty windows or
Mm.
cleaning out those winter clogged gutters to prevent ice dams, or even just simply getting help with what you mentioned, Mallory, indoor organization projects while we're stuck inside with some of the rainy weather as we transition here.
Yep.
And don't forget, with the weather starting to shift, it's also a great time to beat the spring rush for things like mounting new TVs for baseball season, or perhaps if you're not going to the NFL draft, maybe you'll be watching it on your brand new mounted TV as well.
Ooh.
But overall, I'd say whatever the task, you've got a neighbor that is ready there to help you.
Sounds like also maybe if someone's renting out their house for the draft, this would be perfect to get it clean and
Ooh,
sparkly.
now you're talking, and to clean it after the fact, right?
Oh, even more critical.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. It was such a pleasure and always happy to represent Pittsburgh and TaskRabbit. But thank you so much for having us on. And we hope to see everyone engaging with the platform soon.
And again, you can check out taskrabbit.com to learn more. We will have that link for you in our show notes so that you are just a click away.
That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. You can support the show by becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor. You get ad-free listening, some perks, some swag. You can find all the details at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow with more from around the city. We'll talk to you soon.
Give me 1 second. My cat wants to come in.
No, it's fine. We love a pet moment.